Here's 21 pro tips if you want to improve in Fortnite in Season 4. If you want this to be your best season, then this video is for you. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, everyone will improve with these tips. Tip number 1. Land on a Dr. Doom chest. These instantly drop you good loot and spawns 100% of the time. It's the closest you can get to spawning with a loadout. They drop one purple or blue weapon and another purple or gold weapon plus healing. The Doom chests don't give you mats, so don't try to open them and build right away. This is especially important when landing at a contested POI. You want every advantage possible to win off spawn. That 2 to 3 damage difference between weapon rarities could be the reason you live. Tip number 2. Tip 2 is to find low-key spots with Avengers or Dr. Doom chest. If you wanted to, you could land at Castle Doom, but so is half the lobby. These chests are spread throughout the entire map, and there are a few hidden low-key spots that you need to know, like this train station or Rebel's Roost. There's plenty of others, and all you need to do is use Fortnite.gg to find the best spot for you. Then jump in and start learning how to win. Tip number 3. Number 3 is to play a ton when the new season starts. You're probably already doing this, but there's more to it than just playing. You want to learn as much as you can about the new map. Where are the movement spawns like launch pads or the big tower outside of Castle Doom? There is so much to learn, and the more that you play, the more you'll be able to use that map knowledge. My advice is to land places that you haven't before and explore them. You never know where the zone's going to pull, so make sure you're ready for everything. Tip number 4. Next is to try to break things. The reasons why pros are so good is that they're always looking to push the limits of what items can do. Look at the jetpack, for example. Pros quickly found over 70 different ways to use it outside of the intended use. Try combining items, map objects, or whatever you can think of. It might not work, but you'll never know if you don't try. And here's a bonus tip for you if you don't know how to use the jetpacks already. You jump, hit jump again to turn the jetpack on, boost, cancel your jetpack, and then slide again. For non-tournaments, this is the best movement. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more videos like this. Tip number 5. The Ranger pistol is sneaky good. If you find one with an extended mag or a speed mag, pick it up. It is extremely accurate, has a high fire rate, and deals similar damage that you'd find in ARs. This is extremely useful in team modes. You're going to run out of ammo a lot faster if everyone is using medium ammo, so you can split your ammo with your duo using the pistol. One player uses a medium ammo weapon, and the other player uses a small ammo weapon. Pros have done this for so long and are going to continue to repeat this anytime the meta allows. Tip number 6. Another loadout tip is that the Gatekeeper is still the best shotgun in the game. The Sovereign shotgun is good, but the Gatekeeper is just broken. You can hit over 100 damage in quick succession with the Gatekeeper. It hits hard and is also extremely versatile. You can use it in a box fight, hit a player at medium range, chip damage, jump in a box, or damage and take walls. It does it better than all the other shotguns, so make sure you pick it up, no matter the rarity. Tip number 7. Fizz is the only movement, so you need to be sure to hold it. This is especially important in duos because it gives both players shield and movement. You'll get a brand new one if you kill a player with a Fizz, so don't be afraid to use it. Tip number 8. When rotating, keep your head on a swivel. In this meta, players are going to be jumping on your head with Fizz. There isn't additional audio cues to know if a player has a Fizz effect on. And this is even more important in competitive lobbies where players are stacked on each other. You gotta learn to trust your eyes and not your ears. Tip number 9. Tip number 9 is how to rank up faster. In the lower lobbies, anywhere from unranked to elite, you gotta play more aggressive and learn to key. These lobbies will be more forgiving and will give you about 45% if you get a 10 kill 15th place. As you rise up the ranks, it will get harder and harder. From elite to unreal, you'll need to focus more on good placements. You can get away with keying in elite, but once you hit champs, you need to slow it down. When I speedran to unreal, I got 5 wins in 10 games with a few kills every game. This only got me from 20% champion to 85% champion. If you want to rank up fast, placements are the most important. Plain and simple. Tip number 10. Another ranked tip is to use ranked to practice your drop spot. At the pro level, the most valuable off-spawn practice is going against other pros, but it's also just as valuable to go against random players. They will be unpredictable and do things you haven't seen before at your drop spot. You need to work through all these situations in ranked so that you can create a better game plan when it comes to the tournaments. Make sure you're consistently landing at the same spot and focusing on winning it every time. This is going to be great for all the new spots on the map as it will give you a big advantage when it comes to off-spawn. Tip number 11. In order to win your off-spawn fights, you need to have good drops. This is another thing that you can practice in ranked. A lot of issues in ranked or tournaments come from off-spawn deaths. You have to learn the timing of your jump, the angle of your glide, where to pull your glider, and where you want to land. And this goes for every bus path. Landing 5 seconds before your opponents is going to turn the fight in your favor. If you learn these things, you will have the best drop. Before we get to the last 10 tips, I want to let you guys know that I'm officially a part of Metafy. As you've seen before, I coach people all the time. Oftentimes, it's for free in my thesis Discord or during my Tuesday thesis, but there are many times where I do paid private sessions. Medify makes this entire process easier for both of us. So if you're interested in taking your game to the next level, come book a session at medify.gg/@cease and let me help you get your first or next earnings. Now, let's hop back into the video. Tip number 12. Tip number 12 is to make sure there's an advantage to your drop spot. Ask yourself, why are you landing here? If there isn't a specific reason, then you should probably pick a new drop spot. Two areas that I would focus on is being near the green water and being near a cactus spawn. Those two things are advantages to a drop that will make it worth landing at. Materials, loot, mythics, medallions, map location. Just find a drop that fits you and how you want to play. Tip number 13. Read the lobby and the players. This is something that can be used in any game mode. They say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but you can judge a Fortnite player by what they look like in game. Picking up on things like their skin, their movement, the way they react to getting shot is a great way to prejudge your opponent before you even fight him. This can help you be more confident when taking a fight, and it can also give you a reason to not take a fight. Tip number 14. Tip number 14 is to know the weapons. This might sound vague and obvious, but it's important to know what kind of season we're in. Season 4 is a low time to kill season. The ARs put a ton of damage, the Monarch smacks, and the shotguns are strong. You have very little room for error because you can die in almost an instant if two players have you in their sights. This comes down to staying aware, making the right rotations, and avoiding bad positioning. Tip number 15, stay up to date with the new changes. This is Fortnite after all. They are constantly adding and removing items, or nerfing and buffing stuff, and even nuking people's drop spots. Sometimes Fortnite will make huge changes that will disrupt the meta, like the cactus nerf right before the grand finals last season. Other times you don't even notice. All I'm saying is that it doesn't hurt to pay attention. Tip number 16, height wins games. You need to understand these basic things when playing height. Pressure as much as possible. Using two-cone spray is a great tactic here. Don't overbuild when you don't need to. Understand the angles that players are going to have or are going to get when they rotate ahead of you. Watch for the skins that are going to second height. These teams are the ones to worry about. They can actually take height if they wanted to. Typically, if a team or a player looks up at height once, they'll look up again, so pay special attention to those players and know when to drop down for a refresh. Tip number 17, you need to have a set loot route. If you want to be successful in ranked or tournaments, you need to be able to loot fast and efficiently. Every pro pre-plans their loot paths, where they land, what chests they go for, and the best things to farm. Being fast off spawn will help you pick up the easiest kills and points early on. Nothing is easier than an early game kill when he has nothing. Tip number 18, you need to start watching the top pros. You won't be able to figure out everything yourself. The best pros cook up the craziest strats. You can always watch them in replay mode, YouTube videos, or even in their streams. When you do watch, make sure you watch with a purpose. Look for the things that they're doing differently and how you can implement that into your own game. Tip number 19. This one may seem obvious, but it's to know the rules. If you're playing tournaments, you need to know the rules in the scoring format. Like, what do you need to qualify? How many points are kills? How many games can you play? All these are important to help you craft a proper game plan. It takes 5 minutes or less. Just read the damn rules. Or go to my boy Kench. He's got everything for you. Tip number 20. Find friends you can grind with. This is helpful for a bunch of reasons, but the main ones are motivation and knowledge sharing. You're more likely to play and practice if you have friends doing the same thing. Find people that want to improve and join up together. It also helps you learn things faster. Talking through ideas and bouncing stuff off your friends will help you remember things. Or maybe your friends come up with an idea that makes you better. The point is, it can't hurt to play with other people, unless they're toxic. The seasons that I grind the most and feel the most motivated are when I have a good friend group. Tip number 21, don't be afraid to fail. Even the best players in the world have a less than 10% win rate. Fortnite is a game of constant learning. You can look at each death as a failure, or you can use it to learn. These are my 21 tips for Season 4. Let me know in the comments if you like this season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.